Okay, let's go.
You know, there's a level of discipline out there that's, well, it's kind of scary. It's a consistency so absolute, so relentless, it almost seems inhuman. People will literally look at you with a mix of awe and, yeah, a little bit of fear. So today, we're going to break down exactly how you can get there. Come on, you've seen this person, right? That one person who just never failed. While the rest of us are hitting snooze and making excuses by week 3, they're just still going. They just show up every single time. And people look at them and whisper, that's just not normal. All right, so to really get this, let's meet a guy named Raphael. And honestly, he's a lot like us. Super smart programmer, great career, but when it came to habits, he just couldn't stick with anything. The gym, meditation, reading, it didn't matter. The pattern was always the same. He'd start Monday, just full of motivation. By Wednesday, the little voice in his head starts negotiating. And by Friday, total surrender. Sound familiar? Yeah, I thought so. See, Raphael was basically fighting a war against his own brain. And he was losing, badly. That is, until he stumbled upon the secret of how Zen monks have kept their practices going for, get this, over 800 years, without missing a single day. And here's the kicker. It has nothing to do with willpower. Nope, it's something much, much deeper. So what is this secret? It's a concept called kyoji. It translates to continuous practice without gaps. And that last part, without gaps, that's everything. Just think about this for a second. At a temple in Japan called a heiji, a bell has rung at 3:30 in the morning every single day since the year 1200. And every single day, the monks get up. The question, should I get up today? It just doesn't even exist in their world. Okay, this gets right to the core of how our brains are wired. Your brain basically has 2 boxes for commitments. The first box is for reversible commitments. You know, those little promises you make to yourself in private. Those always turn into a negotiation. But the second box, that's for irreversible commitments. And when something lands in that box, it triggers this deep, primitive survival response. They don't get negotiated, they just happen. And this is exactly what Raphael finally did. He completely stopped making those flimsy private promises. Instead, he made a public declaration. He didn't just think it, he wrote it down, he signed it, and then he posted it everywhere. Social media, told his girlfriend, his coworkers, everyone. He basically turned every single person he knew into fuel for his new commitment. And the effect? It was immediate. On day 3, right on schedule, that old voice started whispering, "You're tired. One day off won't matter." But this time, a new, louder thought just screamed over it. The thought of having to go online and tell everyone he failed after just 3 days, it was unbearable. All of a sudden, giving up was way more painful than just getting it done. But this was only step 1. Right, because even with all that social pressure, Raphael was still fighting a war against his own body every single morning. I mean, the public declaration, it stopped the mental back and forth, for sure. But he still had to fight his biology. And that's where the second secret from the monks comes into play. So, to finally end this internal war, you need 2 non-negotiable rules. It's actually super simple. Rule 1, fix the when. You pick a time and that's it. It's not up for debate each day. This kills the decision-making. Rule 2, fix the what. You do the exact same routine every single time. This closes all those tricky mental loopholes your brain loves to find. So, Raphael, he chose 5 a.m. But listen, this is the most important part. He didn't pick 5 a.m. because he's some super motivated morning person who loves sunrises. No way. He chose it because at 5 a.m., the world is asleep. No texts, no emails, no distractions, 0 excuses. The time wasn't about finding the best time. It was about eliminating every possible reason not to do it. And with that rigid structure in place, man, the results were just profound. Day 3, yeah, social pressure got him out of bed. But then around day 14, something crazy happened. His body started to adapt. He was waking up minutes before his alarm. Fast forward to day 66, and the whole thing was on autopilot. It just became unconscious. And by day 90, the transformation was complete. It wasn't just a habit anymore. A whole new identity had been forged. Now, that number, 66 days, it's not random. It's actually really key. Research, I think from MIT, shows that this is roughly the point where a part of your brain called the basal ganglia just takes over. The habit goes from conscious effort to automatic behavior. You're not deciding to do it anymore. Your body just does it. Willpower is officially out of the picture. Okay, but this right here, this is the cliff where most people fall off. Raphael hit it on day 35 when he got the flu. He hit it again on day 40 when he had to travel for work. This is where those old destructive patterns sneak back in, all because we believe in this lie of perfection. And let's just be brutally honest about this. It's the all-or-nothing mindset that kills more dreams than laziness ever will. That voice that says, well, if I can't do the full 20 minutes, I might as well do nothing. Or, I'll just start fresh tomorrow. That thinking creates gaps. And it's in those gaps that your old, inconsistent self crawls right back in. The monks have this really powerful way of looking at it. Think of a river. A river never just stops. Sure, during a drought, it might shrink down to just a tiny trickle, but it's still flowing. The moment it stops completely, well, it's not a river anymore, is it? Your practice is exactly like that. The goal is to keep flowing, even just a little. It's about continuity, not intensity. So back to Raphael on his travel day. What did he do? He went into an airport bathroom and did push-ups. I'm serious. People probably looked at him like he was a complete lunatic. Perfect. He meditated for a few minutes in his Uber. He read a couple pages on the plane. Was any of it his perfect, ideal routine? Not even close. But it didn't matter. The momentum wasn't broken. The river was still flowing. But what about the stuff you just can't plan for? You know, the real chaos that life throws at you. Those are the things that kill consistency because they force you to make decisions when you're already stressed out. This brings us to the final master level step. Becoming truly unbreakable by pre-solving for chaos. You know, Zen monasteries have been doing this for centuries. If a hall floods, they move the practice. If it burns down, they practice outside. The response is automatic. So Raphael did the same thing. He literally sat down and wrote out every single thing that had ever derailed him in the past, and he created a pre-solved response for each one. The rule is simple. When X happens, I will do Y. No thinking, no negotiating, just pure execution. And the power of this is you're taking the decision-making out of the moment of crisis. You stop wasting all that precious mental energy on panicking and figuring out what to do, and instead you just use that energy to execute the plan you already made when you were calm and rational. So after 90 days of this unbroken practice, something way deeper than just a new habit was formed. Raphael wasn't just doing something new anymore. He had become someone new. And this is the transformation that leads to that level of consistency we talked about at the beginning, the kind that, kind of scares people. And you want to know the first real sign that you're on the right track? Other people start getting uncomfortable. Seriously, friends will say, you're becoming obsessive. Colleagues might say, that discipline isn't healthy. And why do they say that? Because your actions are a mirror, and they prove that all their excuses are just that, excuses. Your consistency makes them uncomfortable with their own inaction. So here's the ultimate takeaway. This whole Gyoji system, it isn't really about building a habit. It's about forging a new identity. It's never been about what you do. It's always been about who you become. The whole point is to get to a place where the transformation is so complete that you're no longer the person who tries to meditate. You're not the person who tries to work out. You are simply a meditator. You are a person who works out. You stop trying. You just are. So in the end, look, this system isn't just about discipline. It's about a kind of death and rebirth. It's the death of that inconsistent, excuse-making version of yourself and the birth of someone who is truly unbreakable. So the only question left for you is, are you ready for that?